a reality where Earth has vanished into oblivion, leaving humanity stranded among the stars. How would that turn out? Welcome to an alternate world, where we explore ways in which life could be radically different. What if the familiar blue planet we once called home is now nothing more than a distant memory? Where would humans live? And most importantly, could humans survive or evolve to withstand the harsh conditions of space? Could planet Earth actually disappear? Truth is, like us, planets are born, and then they die. But the death of a planet is far different from that of humans. Planets can collide into each other and blow to pieces. Some are catapulted towards the icy desolation of interstellar space. Others are swallowed by stars that run out of hydrogen fuel and want to become red giants. American astrophysicist Sean Raymond describes 3 different types of deaths for a celestial body. Destruction, a planet falling into a star. Bye-bye planet. Sterilization, a planet loses its atmosphere and water. Life, as we know it, is kaput. And mass extinction, a planet undergoes a dramatic change in conditions and suffers a metamorphosis. Sound familiar? Well, if it does, it's because Earth has died many times and risen back to life, like a phoenix. Its most famous death was the dino-wiping asteroid. Raymond also mentions that we can be certain Earth is going to die again. Within the next billion years, the heat of the sun, slowly moving towards us, will boil away our oceans, hence sterilizing our planet. Then, the sun, as a star, will enlarge and start engulfing Mercury and Venus as it approaches us. Earth's time has come. Our green and blue sphere may either be pushed outward or eaten up by the sun as a little evening appetizer. Then, as centuries pass, the sun will shrink and become what astronomers call a white dwarf, and the final sight of life on Earth will be the ghostly trace of debris floating in the vastness of space. Yep, that will be it for us. Again, this is billions of years away. Nonetheless, there are many other apocalyptic events that could threaten humans' life on Earth. Another asteroid? A global pandemic? Even nuclear war is breathing down our necks. We don't even have to go that far. Some of the greatest climate scientists' calculations suggest that an extinction caused by pollution and climate change might start as early as 2050. How will humanity survive this? Will we be able to, or should we try to change postal codes to another corner of the galaxy? Humans have the urge to discover, to conquer, to go beyond. Why settle with the world when you can have the universe? For some, living in space is less of a matter of how, but of when. Bill Nelson, NASA administrator, said that they're hoping to land humans on the moon by next year. Although lunar exploration has been done before, let's just say this time we're house hunting. There's plans to create a permanent base on the moon for humans to live beyond our planet. And the bullseye prize? Have humans walking on Mars by 2040? This all sounds so appealing. We might even have the technology to survive out there. However, it's important to understand, space is a harsh place. It's not for the faint of heart, literally. For one thing, there's the ionizing radiation, microscopic, rapidly moving particles that are released from the sun or from supernova explosions. Even if we were on space stations or wearing suits, these are subatomic particles, so not even walls or thick layers of materials could keep them away from us. And the further we go out in space, the worse the radiation gets. Then there's gravity, or more like, there is none. Our body's default setting is for gravity to help our hearts pump blood from our feet up to our brains. This cycle could not happen without gravity. So, if we were to live in this alternate reality where Earth is no longer an option, how would humans survive? Okay, let's picture this cool alternate world. Moonbase is done. Cool space houses are waiting for us on Mars. How can our bodies cope with the environment in space and let us enjoy these new amenities? Let's not forget humans have an almost supernatural power, the ability to evolve. We evolve every day, even if it's not super noticeable, and we will continue to evolve. Take Tibetans, for example. They can thrive in low oxygen conditions because of their ancestors living 10,000 years ago in high altitudes. Argentinians have the ability to ingest and metabolize arsenic, a chemical that can kill the average human. These mutations, if you want to call them that, reflect the human body's ability to change and adapt to withstand harsh conditions. So could we do the same to be able to live in space? Lisa Knipp, an MIT student trained in biochemistry, thinks we definitely can. She has posed the possibility of using synthetic biology to engineer ourselves and make our body fit to survive in space. How on earth would we do that, you may ask? Well, we would basically borrow genes that could help us achieve space immunity. In this alternate world, humans would become GMOs, genetically modified organisms. And that way, we could step in space, live in space, and potentially even enjoy it without having to wear big silver suits that weigh almost as much as our body masses. We know that us frail humans can't step outside space stations without a suit, but could other living creatures exist in space without the aid of technology? Let me tell you, there's one small creature that can. Yes, it's called a tardigrade. A little background story: these microscopic creatures were part of the first privately funded spacecraft to land on the moon. Yeah, these little rascals were first-class travelers. Sadly, the spacecraft they were traveling in crashed, but thanks to this accident, we were able to discover what tardigrades are capable of. Let me explain. Tardigrades' bodies are built of 1,000 cells, and if they're frozen, dried out, or as we already mentioned, exposed to outer space, they go into a super cool state called ton. Kind of like a space hibernation. How do they do this, you may ask? Well, a sugar called true hollows helps preserve their cells and protects them from extreme conditions. Also, tardigrades have these funky molecules called intrinsically disordered proteins. What a name, huh? They create a super viscous environment inside their cells, slowing down damage and transforming them into this sort of a glass-like state that protects their DNA. Tardigrades are so cool, they can even resist intense doses of UV radiation by fluorescing. These glowing, strong ancient creatures have survived all 5 recognized mass extinctions due to their resilient abilities. They've evolved enough to survive on land, and this unintentionally made them resilient to withstand pretty much everything else, including being in space. Maybe studying tardigrades and taking some of their DNA qualities could help scientists to engineer us into superhumans, a fabricated evolution to allow us survive the cruel conditions of space. What's the first thing you would do when you land in space? Would you like to live in this alternate reality where you are able to do stuff in space like we do on Earth? Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know what alternate world we should explore next.